Welcome back. We are on page 60 and we're going to look at understanding scientific notation. Okay, so scientific notation is a way to write very, very big numbers or very, very small numbers. Okay, so now a number that's written in scientific notation is shown the product of two factors. So the first factor must be greater than or equal to 1 and less than 10. So your first number in scientific notation has to be 1 or more, but less than 10. So pretty much between 1 and 10. The second factor is a power of 10. Okay, so we're going to write a number, really, really big and really, really small numbers, using scientific notation. So we have to turn the number into a number that's 1 or more, but less than 10. And then we have to multiply it by a power of 10. Okay, so now one thing you need to remember is that if your number that you're starting off with is more than 1, your exponent's going to be positive. If the number you're starting off with is less than 1, your exponent's going to be negative. Okay, so let's look at this one, 65 million. Okay, so 65 million. We're going to write that number in scientific notation. So here's the decimal in the number 65 million. So what you're going to do is you're going to move the decimal to make the number between 1 and 10. Remember, in order to write in scientific notation, the number has to be 1 or more but less than 10. Right now it's 65 million. So if we count how many times we move this decimal, we count and move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I stop the decimal, if I move it 7 times and stop it right there, now my new number is going to be 6.5. If I put my decimal there, 6.5, I don't need to put all the rest of the zeros after it. So 6.5 is between 1 and 10. It's more than 1, but less than 10. So now you write times 10 to the 7th power. It's going to be the 7th power because I moved the decimal 7 times. And because my number is more than 1 to begin with, my exponent is going to be positive. So my number was 65 million to begin with. My exponent is positive. So this is scientific notation. A number between 1 and 10 times a power of 10. And again, my exponent's positive because my number to start off with was more than 1. Okay, so let's take a look at this number. 0.0000987. Okay, now, if the number you start off with is less than 1, so 0.0 something is a number less than 1. So now if your number is less than 1, your exponent will end up being negative. Okay, so now, again, in order to write this in scientific notation, I need to make this number between 1 and 10. So if I move the decimal now this way, and I count how many times I move it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I stop it right there after the 9, now my new number is 9.87. Again, I don't need all these zeros in front of that number. I moved it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So my new number is 9.87 times 10 to the negative 5. My exponent's negative this time because my number that I started off with is less than 1. And it's negative 5 because I moved it 5 times. And again, my number I started off with is less than 1. That is this number written in scientific notation. Okay, so let's practice a few of those. Okay, so let's take a look at this first one, 92,960,000. Okay, so now, again, your number is more than 1, 92 million and something, that's more than 1. So my exponent I know is going to end up being positive. So here's the decimal in a number that doesn't show it, a whole number. It's always at the end. So let's move the decimal. We're going to move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to stop it right there, 9.296. I don't need the rest of the zeros. So if I move it 7 times this way and stop it right there, now my number's between 1 and 10. 9.296, that's between 1 and 10, times 10 to the 7th. It's a positive 7 because I moved it 7 times, and my number that I started off with is more than 1, so positive exponent. That is scientific notation. Okay, let's try another one. If I change this one to a number between 1 and 10, here's your decimal. So this is 3,212. I know my exponent's going to be positive again because I'm starting off with a number more than 1. Here's my decimal. Let's move it and make this number between 1 and 10. 1, 2, 3. If I stop it right there, my new number will be 3.212. Okay, 3 point something, that's between 1 and 10. Times 10 to the 1, 2, 3. I moved it 3 times. So my exponent's going to be positive 3 because I moved it 3 times, and my number I'm starting off with is more than 1. Scientific notation, a number between 1 and 10 times the power of 10. Okay, let's look at this one. This one is definitely more than 1. So here's your decimal. It's always at the end if it doesn't show it. Let's count how many times it's going to take for us to move it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If I stop my decimal right there, my new number will be 3.5. That's between 1 and 10. So times 10 to the 12th, because I moved it 12 times, it took me 12 times to move it, so my exponent is 12, and it's a positive 12 because the number I started off with was more than 1. Okay, scientific notation. All right, let's take a look at these. Now, if you notice, all these numbers are less than 1. These are all less than 1, so our exponent now this time is going to be negative. Okay, so let's count how many times it takes me to make this number between 1 and 10. 1 or more, but less than 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I stop it right now, right there, my new number is going to be 7.03. That's between 1 and 10, times 10 to the negative 6. Again, if my number is less than 1 to begin with, I moved it 6 times, it's going to be a negative exponent. Okay, let's try this one. I'm going to move the decimal to make this number between 1 and 8. 1 and 10, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have to stop it at after, because if I stop it at the end, it's 8. 8, that's between 1 and 10, times 10 to the, let's see how many times it took us to move it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. So 8 times 10 to the negative 9th. Again, it's negative because this number we started off with was less than 1 to begin with, and we moved it 9 times, negative 9. 8 times 10 to the negative 9th. Okay, again, this number is less than 1. My exponent will be negative. Let's make this number between 1 and 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I stop it right there, my new number will be 4.2. That's between 1 and 10, times 10 to the negative 4. Again, it's negative because my number is less than 1 and I moved it 4 times. Scientific notation. Okay, let's go back and just do a couple of more. On page 60. Under do you know how? Okay, so express this in scientific notation. This number is between 1 or more than 1, so my exponent's going to be positive. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If I stop it right there, my new number will be 5.864 times 10 to the positive 8 because my number was more than 1. Let's try one more. Let's look at number 6. Now this number is less than 1, so my exponent will be negative. I'm going to make it between 1 and 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So my new number would be 4.4 times 10 to the negative 7th. I hope that helps.